Marfoogle News going live in 3, 2. All right, what is going on, guys? It is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. We're going to talk about some really crazy stuff today. In fact, the first one is going to be about Mexico, which is absolutely nuts. But the rest is actually about very crazy comment. Another one out of Elon saying, go planetary or die. And what he mentions in that and what he's reposting, you'll see in a second, it's a very direct clue to something I've seen him say many times. And I think that he is cluing and hinting us to. We're going to talk about this video that everybody is talking about. It is the ISS live stream that was cut unexpectedly. And of course, that is no surprise to anybody that follows the ISS because there was some sort of cloaked object, or at least that's what people are saying. We're going to watch that in just a minute. But first, let's talk about Mexico, the Mexico president. Now, this is almost comical. So when I saw the first headline, I said, oh, wow, it says the Mexico president clapped back. In fact, this one says Mexico president issues ferocious warning to the President Trump after the U.S. strikes threat. Remember, the president basically said that, hey, I would be proud to bomb the bad guys in your country. This whole article, and I'm telling you guys can go read this for yourself. At the very beginning, it says it's not going to happen. She said at a press conference responding to Trump's warning that he would do whatever he would have to do, including strikes within the territory. So her entire, because if you watch the video, she's not ferocious whatsoever, but I don't know. Nowadays, she's ferocious. She said it's not going to happen. So her saying that really to any of us means nothing. If America wants to strike something, we're going to strike something, especially in Mexico or Iran, in Iraq or wherever. So, as far as her ferocious warning, I think it's pretty silly. And you actually think like mainstream media wrote an entire article about that. Moving on, the really interesting stuff, we're going to talk about this video. Again, this is nuts. We'll show you that. Before I do, make sure to go over and check out marfooglenews.com/EMP. They have the biggest sale they've had in 40 years. It is definitely a good time to get it, especially with everybody, obviously, dealing with inflation and everything else. Make sure to go get this now because it is the cheapest you can get, especially when you get multiples, because you get $50 off from us and you get, of course, 25% off from them. So make sure to go check this out, marfooglenews.com/EMP. Make sure to use the code MARF. It will protect you against EMP and CME, again, a Carrington level event from the sun. As well. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, generators, houses, satellites, Starlink systems. Again, you even have a modem system that just came out. So go check it out. Same technology is being used by agencies like DOW, DHS, FBI, Air Force. So go check it out. All right, let's bring in my co-host, internet brother, Dex James. What is going on and how are you doing today?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
Okay, so first of all, this actually put together all 12 of the weird things, and this is why people think it's a spaceship. I actually just watched a creator that Wages World turned me on to. Wages sent me a video of this guy who is a astronomer. He has some serious gear. I'm assuming it's thousands and thousands of dollars for the telescopes he has. He has a YouTube channel, and I will actually try to attach that as well. We're not going to be watching that today, but you guys should go watch this guy because he essentially, the first comment was, wow, this one guy has more data than all of NASA on 3i Atlas. He's been taking pictures of it and watching it and says that it actually, something it does not say here, that he says that it's vertically spinning, not horizontally spinning. If that's true, it would be really rare for a big comet to do that. It would be more often, if at all, it would be an asteroid that would do that. After it smacks into something, it wobbles and then it goes into this certain way. I still don't get why they say that basically everything spins this way, including planets. That's so weird. Like you can go up, down every way and it's infinite universes, but yet everything is on that. Like I've never understood that either. And I'm sure everybody has their questions. But Dex, do you want to talk about the anomalies? And he straight up lists all of the reasons why this possibly could be a spaceship.
Yeah, certainly. So again, this is coming from the Harvard professor, Abe Loeb. He's put together in his latest blog post the 12 anomalies. So, everything from Loeb saying it's retrograde trajectory, to the object displayed in a sunward jet during summer, which is unlike familiar comets. The object's nucleus is around 1 million times larger than 1I Oumuamua, which was the first interstellar 1I. Mom hit by lightning says what happened is that may be the wrong thing. Sorry. And it goes on. 3-1 Atlas arrival time was fine tuned, as he calls it, to bring it within tens of millions of kilometers from Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. So, like, that alignment to get in that exact area was very precise. And according to Loeb, its gas plume contains much more nickel than iron that is found in industrial produced nickel alloys. The GAP's gas plume contains only 4% water by mass, despite the water being primarily a constituent of familiar comets. So that's a big, obvious difference with what would traditionally see in a comet. And it also displays extremely negative polarization, which is something not seen for all known comets. So that's another one. And a few others. The object arrived from a direct coincident with the radio wave WOW signal. So this radio wave, to within 9 degrees of the direction of that radio wave, this object came from that direction. And it also brightened faster than any other known comet in the bluer sky. And he explained that it exhibits sunward and anti-solar jets, which require an unreasonably large surface area to absorb enough sunlight needed to sublimate enough ice to feed the mass flux of those jets.
Now, I'm sure most of you are like me. I don't understand this because every time they kept saying it says it exhibits a sunward and anti-solar jets. So anytime they're talking about jets, they're talking about the gases that are coming off of it. From what I understand, they're saying that the gas is going forward and backwards. But that actually makes sense if you're looking at it, if it's spinning vertically. If you think about that what that gentleman said, what if this thing is actually, it's because of the way they're filming it and the angle that they're looking at, it is because it's going like this. And maybe that jet is actually not propelling it, it's spinning it, and that pushes it forward. And I'm only saying if it's absolutely crazy and it's the blue beam mothership that we think it is, right? The WOW signal, right? It's just so happens to be from the same area that we got the WOW signal. Now, I can't remember what year the WOW signal was, but essentially we got this signal out of space, and it was unlike anything we had seen. So it is weird.
So those jets, if I can try to simplify its explanation, when a regular comet is coming towards the sun, as it's melting, or the sun is causing part of it to melt, you'll get these jets that shoot off the back of it. Obviously, going from the shooting off of the back of the direction that
like a torch on an object.
Exactly. So it's going backwards. It's sort of like the jet engine sort of pushing it forward, but it's really just the melt coming off the back because it's propelling forward. This one has that, but they're much larger. But it also has a forward-facing jet. In other words, a jet that is shooting directly at the sun. What the heck is that? That makes no sense. Like,
it doesn't.
The whole physics is it should be going off the backside because it's melting and moving off of the back as it's moving forward. So
unless it's grabbing power from the sun.
Right.
Or something. And then one of the ones I don't know, I feel like maybe it's down below. Oh, and the object also displays non-gravitational acceleration. So they know through physics what the slingshot and how fast it makes a comet go around a planet or around an object. They say that this thing accelerated totally outside of that area. But I would think, though, if they don't know what it's made of, it's a different weight than it could. I don't understand, because if it's a lot heavier, maybe it would slingshot faster. But that's crazy too.
Well, and then imagine this: you got this giant ball of ice, right? In a traditional comet, it's melting from a sun or a star that's going near, so it's shooting off these jets off the back of it. If that ball of ice were spinning, you would expect those jets to have some sort of rotation with it. But they're saying that these jets are maintaining their perfect orientation, even though the object itself is rotating. So nothing is changing, but the object's rotating in the middle of those jets.
Yeah. And I could almost imagine, like, if you've ever seen an animation of how they think that there's structures around a sun or a star that are, it's like a gyroscope around the planet. They're moving, but remember that we covered a few years ago, They said one of these stars was flashing almost as if there was a regular kind of actual metal structure flashing and blinking and dimming the light, right? They said that. And I was thinking if this was some sort of spaceship where the center is like a a ball, and then the outside, that the jet that moves, but the inside stays still. Something. I mean, we've seen with futuristic movies where they have spinning systems to keep gravity. You know, it will spin so fast, so they'll have an artificial gravity. It'll basically push people to the outsides of the spaceship. I don't know. It's definitely weird. Now this is even weirder. So if you remember too, people said Oumuamua was named Scout, right? That one was even weirder. The trajectory of that one came right by Earth and then sped up and left. And some even theorized that it dropped something off. Now here is the full video. Now you guys can go watch this over on Twitter too, but I'll show you this. So this is the ISS. They actually cut the screen, and people are going, well, how do you know that this isn't altered? So there are tons and tons and tons, thousands of people who actually watch the ISS live, and they record it. They record this, and so this has been verified from at least 3 people that this was legitimately the exact stream, right? So these live views from external cameras on the International Space Station have been temporarily suspended due to routine loss of signal, period. The video stream and space-to-ground audio will resume when communication link is enabled. So, okay, so here's normal view, right? If you go forward, this is really odd. And now, I'll tell you what some people think it is. But if you look at this, there are some really, really weird things here. So let me put this on here. Okay, so let me make this much smaller here. Okay, so as you can see, there's things floating by, right? And at first you might think, oh, that's like maybe space debris. Let me just go forward a little bit. Then it gets really weird. And some are saying that this is possibly some sort of cloaked ship. Now, if you look very carefully, you'll see some of this disappear. So see, look up at the top, it's almost like there's a blank thing. Now, some are saying that this is the reflection of the lights on the Earth, like a lens flare, and it is actually lights on a night lit Earth. Some others are saying that that is not true. You'll see right up here, there's like some sort of thing here. And that could be part of the ISS and the shadow, right? So this would make sense if this is the lights from the actual Earth, if it was floating above and doing this. But some say, how in the world would the lenses reflect that on that part of the lens? Unless somebody was inside and had an open window with them behind them, how would they get the flare and the glare from that? Some are saying that it is looking like this. Now, remember, this was showing, and after a certain part was shown, all of a sudden the stream gets cut. What is that? Or did they notice there was a glitch? Some even thought it was a glitch, and maybe the two fake videos that they always put together overlapsed, and they go, oh crap, we accidentally put the imposed Earth over the stars. I don't know, but it is weird. You can see a solid line right here where everything kind of disappears, like there's an arm in the middle and everything disappears. After this, it's like gone, right? It's this, and I'll just go fast through it so you can kind of see. You can see when things disappear. See that? They disappear in this middle line. So, yeah, what do you guys think it is? Do you think it's just a bunch of bull hooky? Tell me in the comments down below. There are some weird things. Like, look at this blue line here. What the hell is that? If that's Earth, if that's even a reflection of Earth, there's like a super bright blue line there. Is this some sort of cloaking technology? I mean, it does the trick. It just kind of looks like space. And it looks like there's a shape here. Even the skeptics, go watch it. The more you watch it, the weirder it is, because you can see a shape that's moving inside the shapes. It's so weird. What do you guys think it is? Let me know in the comments down below. Somebody says a fleet. There's also And mind you, we are the people here in this community. Everybody thinks we're crazy for following the patterns and everything. There is this one guy who, at first off, he kind of came off as crazy, but he has this screen that's always bringing these dots into Earth. And he's like, look, there's more. There's a whole fleet of them coming into our atmosphere. And he comes off as that guy from 2012, the guy that Woody Harrelson played, that at the end, welcomes the asteroids to hit and stuff, or I forget which movie. I'm mixing up two movies. But the crazy guy in the end, it's like, oh, I knew it was coming. But it's like, what if those guys are right? Like, we've been lied to so many times by mainstream. We've been lied to by the world governments. What if those guys are the ones who are right? And what if the people that are respected are not, right? It's very interesting. Now, this is interesting too.
Is it the Romulans?
Yeah.
They're the ones that were really good with the cloaking and the high tech.
No. That was the Klingons.
I thought the Klingons were more warrior-like. Romulans were more high tech, like
Klingons.
Like
but Romulans
got the cloaking, but they didn't make it. Romulans did.
Well, no, Romulans are a mix of two races, I think. Merlin's Fey Cod, it says both. Yeah. Romulans, I don't know who got the tech from who, but not to nerd out. But yeah, I thought Klingons had it first, but whatever. I might be wrong. Romulans definitely do too with their bird of prey, I think it is. So check this out. And then Elon Musk does this about 21 hours ago, randomly puts this out, and he's done this multiple times. Remember, he used to be really subtle. He would put a picture out that looks like, he put that meme out of the astronaut on the moon and then watching an asteroid go through Earth and said, oh man, and I was worried about, my finances, but when really something was coming towards Earth. He's done this multiple times. He says, become multiplanetary or die. That is the choice we face. And then Brian Rommel says this is the Chicxulub crater created at 66 million, and he talks about the dinosaur killing asteroid, right? So he sees this. He sees this about Chicxulub and then says, become multiplanetary or die. This is the choice we face. Sorry. It's just weird to me. I've always had a side thought. And if you go through Elon Musk over the years, he has done this multiple times. He has hinted towards something coming our way, an asteroid hitting Earth. And if you think about everything he does, he literally makes, he bores underground tunnels with the boring company. He does his implants, which would be required, the Neuralink, which would be required for long flights in space if you were, being put to sleep or something like that, or to save your brain onto a hard drive before you go. He does SpaceX, which launches things and wants to go to Mars, and he's making robots, which many say that if you were going to set up anything on Mars, humans could not go there first, that you would first have to send a fleet of autonomous robots to do the building for you because of the harsh, the harsh way that Mars is. So everything that he does has some sort of relation to this, and he's said it for years, and he's made these little clues. Now, I know that most people, completely have a belief system the opposite of this, but I think it's very, very weird. What do you guys think? Dex, isn't it weird he keeps talking about this?
If autonomous robots showed up on Mars to get it ready and were able to survive and build out everything, I think the first thing they would realize is once they're done, they don't need to bring humans there. And if they do, it's just going to mess it up. So that would probably be one of the first, if not many of the autonomous revolts against humans.
Yeah, then that's a movie plot in itself. Lola Cafe, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Jake Malone, Angie, Jammer, and Wages, thank you for modding. Again, Wages, I don't know, you can do links. I don't know if you can link that gentleman's show in the chat, but I was impressed by him. And I don't think he's just making stuff up for views. I think he's an actual astronomer that is, a smaller creator, and he just puts his stuff out. He seems very honest to me, and his pictures actually do look exactly like he put his stuff out before NASA did, which is kind of crazy. One guy had more information on it than NASA did. All right, but if we're wrong, we'll
get
correct
that link
it
on our website.
Okay, awesome. All right, you guys, join us over on our next show. We're going to talk about even more craziness. over on Marfoogle TV. We've got a lot to talk about, so do not miss that. We've got everything with Mexico, Russia, all of that, plus even more. So join us again over on Marfoogle TV. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.